So my name is Jappan Pal Singh and I'm from the BM batch of 1921. I was selected to intern with Deloitte Consulting for a period of 2 months in the area of enterprise performance. In these 2 months, my main role was to solve complex managerial problem solving using technology as the main enabler. So prior to joining XIMB, I worked as a full-time entrepreneur. So entrepreneurship teaches you a lot of things about ground reality and importance of cost saving. Also, I belong to a non-technical background, and my role is my domain of consulting is a bit technical. So I feel that my biggest contribution to Deloitte was delivering fresh ideas and delivering ideas that can be, uh, you know, executed very fast and which just does not look good on paper but can be practically implemented as well. And coming on to that, what was my biggest takeaway from Deloitte? Deloitte tells you how to devise a logical flow and logical process for solving a problem. It really enables you to think in modules and then combine those modules to devise the perfect solution which can solve complex problems. So that was my biggest takeaway of adapting these qualities in my life in my day-to-day routine coming from my experience in the Deloitte internship. XIMB I feel is very well versed as to what can you need for your internships. So they made the course structure in such a way which give us hands-on practical experience with subjects like managerial computing and subjects like communication, which are a must for any internship. Also, since we were the first batch who went completely virtual with their internships, Deloitte made sure that we have access to all the kind of resources that we might need that we are not able to access because of not going to our offices. So Deloitte was, XIMB was right there in taking care of that. Also, the kind of network it provides you of professors and subject matter experts in terms of your seniors, you could actually reach them out to get hands-on knowledge, practical knowledge about any particular field that might help you in serving your client better or solving a problem in a much better way. So my internship profile basically required you to have a work ex of minimum 24 months. And I have 29 months of total work ex, few months in EY, and then full-time entrepreneurship. So I feel that work experience always helps in terms of knowing that what could be the exact problems that one can face during implementation or what could be the exact problems on ground. So these are the things that really come up with WorkX. Also, I feel that conflict situations, for example, when you or your team members are not agreeing to a solution or how to solve, how to reach out to certain problem areas in a much more harmonic way. These all comes with WorkX. And I've given saying that, I feel that a fresher can do equally good job in any profile given they have the right kind of temperament and right kind of attitude towards their work. Uh, well, I feel with the consulting or with any field that requires solutioning to a particular problem, thinking outside of the box is a daily task. I still remember that there was one particular problem wherein I had to use a lot of marketing strategies and marketing technique to solve a finance problem. So I feel that yes, you have to think outside of the box. You have to push the boundaries and be very creative with the solution because every organization or every client has customized setup. So you need to come up with customized and unique solution with that client. You cannot generally go on repeating the solution as is. So yes, you have to think outside of the box every day. Deloitte being a global brand really wants you to be well versed with your presentation skills and email writing skills. They want you to have a very positive attitude towards your work, and they really encourage if you can shoulder responsibilities about solutioning, about coming up with new ideas. They always encourage it. One thing that Deloitte really appreciates about you and would really prefer you, you should have positive outlook towards your teammate and the right kind of temperament, or basically I'd say the right cultural fit, because Deloitte's culture is what it is known for. Cross domain knowledge always helps. Be it Henry Ford, who got the idea of mass production and conveyor belt from a slaughterhouse, or be it us, everyone, can develop better solutions if they have cross-functional knowledge. For example, there were some particular client problems that looked like that they were related to finance, but in turn they turned out to be marketing problems, which led to a domino effect of problems in other area as well. So, given the kind of consulting problem I was solving, if I was able to solve the marketing problem, automatically the finance problem and all other problems get solved. So this is how the cross-functional knowledge actually helps. So I was working more on a finance-related problem in the company, and it was an absolute pleasure working there. The people are very approachable, very friendly, and they are always willing you to lend you a helping hand if you are stuck anywhere. They always want you to nurture you to grow you to the best. It was one of the few companies, I guess, which were paying heed to the mental health of its workers, and having regular calls with the team about how your day is going, or what kind of problems you are facing, or what are the good things that you are experiencing working from home. I remember that a lot of times I used to have just random, chats and random phone calls with my seniors, just to, check on me that how I'm doing or what are the new web series that I'm watching. So it was an absolutely, amazing experience. I felt that I was a part of the team and not just a mere intern there. So I feel the company's culture is amazing. And it's not just me, it's also the global rankings. Deloitte is always ranked in the top 5 or the top 10 companies to look out for to work in globally. I feel that going forward, virtual is going to be the new normal. So you should be really comfortable and really adept with giving online presentations, really comfortable with writing good emails. Clear and crisp communication is going to be a strong differentiator of yours in the online mode, and that's necessary at this point of time. Apart from that, I feel if you are working for any company, have a positive outlook towards your work. There are a lot of things which you will not be knowing before your job or your internship starts. Don't be afraid to ask. Always ask for helps, and I'm sure that you'll end up performing really well if you just ask for help and sometimes incorporates others solutions or other inputs in your solution. Also, be a good listener. This is one skill that I feel is very underrated. Have patience, and I'm sure everything will work out to be flawlessly, flawlessly fine. So have a good time and all the best for your internships.
I'm Sugandha Agarwal. I'm an MBA BM graduate from XIMB class of 2021. Prior to XIMB, I have done my BCom honors and MCom from Delhi University. I also have a 2 years of work experience with Ernst& Young in their assurance domain. For my summer internship, I got an offer from Capgemini Technology Limited, and I was selected as a senior trainee for their management roles. And my internship was typically into capital markets and the recent trends which have been emerging there. So being a part of class of 2021, we had our virtual internships. And I think to ace these opportunities that we had got, since the times were not so sure about how our finals would go and how our internships would go, I think my motive was just to get an offer from this company. And this role required an extensive amount of research. So I did my best to, get through all the knowledge that I could get on my respective project. I wanted to connect the dots with the financial learning that we had accumulated in our first year. And I think at the end of the day, it's all about connecting the dots and formulating a model or solution to the respective problem that you've been given. So I think that was my contribution towards my internship. And when I talk about learning, there would be two major learnings which I could gather. First was to make the best of what we had. Okay, so we couldn't crib about, having virtual internships, not having a proper flow to work, not having people to interact with. So one thing was that I had this opportunity, I did not know what lied ahead. So my motive was just to get the best done and to deliver whatever I could do, so that I could not only get an offer for myself but also make XIMB proud. So first learning would be that give it your best shot, do what you can. And second would be the networking. I think we are in a profession where networking is one of the major things that you cannot survive without. You can survive without, not having the knowledge about a particular thing. You can learn about it, but unless until you network with people in your domain, in other domains, you will not be able to survive a particular role or a particular company. I think first would be the communication skills. So we have our subjects related to communications in our first year, right? But we as students take it as the most light subject of our curriculum. I think one of the major roles that you deliver in your internship, or be it your final offer that you get, is that you need to communicate effectively, be it the people who are working in the bottom of the hierarchy, top management, or maybe your colleagues. Second would be the presentation and the negotiation skills. So at the end of the day, when you are working for a company, you got to convince the leadership what you have done for the past 2 months and why would you be a good resource for them. So I think XIMB's contribution has been towards one, the communication part, and second would be our presentation and negotiation skills. So I had a prior work experience of 2 years with Ernst and Young in their assurance region. So assurance is basically financial audit. So and this internship role that I got from Capgemini was also into financial services. So basically, it was capital markets segment. So I think my prior work experience helped me a lot, and not only during my internship but also when I was sitting for this company's interview. So majorly your interviews that you give for in your SIPs, they are focused on what you have done in your previous roles. So I think a good knowledge of that role helped me convince the interviewer that I can be an asset to them, and maybe their financial services division can help me grow and I can help them grow. So it was a mutual way. Settling down in this new role, understanding what it requires when you do not have a clear set of guidelines in place, and delivering an output that should be equivalent to what an ideal intern would have delivered. I think that was the biggest challenge, and it required thinking out of the box throughout the project. So there are three major qualities that you need to have to maybe get a PPO from this company or ace this opportunity. First would be a research oriented mindset. Capgemini is working extensively towards newer technologies that are coming up, be it in terms of their tech segment or in terms of their financial segment. So you need to be very well equipped with all the research oriented material that you can have access to websites, all the portals, or maybe all of the financial knowledge, journals, etc. Second would be good communication. uh, you can have all the research, you could put in all the hard work, but if you're not able to communicate it to your seniors or your managers, then it's, the show is not there. Okay. And last would be ace your PPT making skills. They uh, content can be collated by anyone. It's not about content collation. uh, a PowerPoint presentation is somewhere where it is basically a storytelling of what your project is all about. So you need to very well be versed with how you're going to deliver a PPT. It is not majorly a collaboration of 5-10 slides that you just randomly put together and throw it to the management. You need to have very well skills about what you're. So when I was an intern with Capg, I researched with about the font size, font color, and what type of reports this company uh, publishes. So my PPT was truly well versed with that. So three things would be research oriented mindset, communication skills, and PPT making skills. Yeah, definitely. I think you can never fully deliver a project without keeping in mind the bigger picture. Okay, so you cannot think that I have the financial segment with me and the operation segment has nothing to do with it. Okay, so every time your knowledge of other domains, be it marketing, operations, in IT, everything is very well integrated, and the better knowledge you have about other domains, the better your solutions or models would be in place that you suggest to your company. So I had interned in the fintech segment, and I would describe it as highly informative and engaging. So this industry is something that is constantly evolving. So you need to be very well versed with updates that are coming in, be it in terms of business, economics, politics. You have to have a blend of everything. So throughout my internship, I developed the international perspective on the regulations and the compliances which the financial sector has. If I talk about the work culture of this company, so CapG is very well inclusive. Uh, I was in the initial stages of my MBA. I was very worried if a company would select, because there are various biases that come into place with respect to the looks and every other thing that might be in place. But I think Capg's culture is very inclusive. They respect your identity. They respect what you bring to the table. They uh, they want you to make their projects work. They are not looking for anything fancy. They just want your knowledge and your work ethics. So I think it was a great working experience. Yeah, if I may, then I would say that there are three things that you should keep in mind. First will be open to explore new opportunities in any dimension of the project that you get. You might be in finance, you might be in operations, you might be in marketing, or be it in HR. Just be ready to explore anything new that you might think might work for your company. Okay. Second would be to find out the best practices that are prevalent in other companies right now. Your projects will have similar projects would be running in different companies or different consultancies that you are working with. They might be your competitors. So you need to find out what are the best practices they are putting into place, and how can you embed them in your project or your company. And last would be have a learning mindset. If you're not ready to learn, if you're just there to uh, do the work and get it done, then it's not going to work out. You need to be able to learn throughout the process.